senior, has been actively involved in this at a very early age, since the age of 7. And he has played a central role in local and national community, organizing all kinds of civil liberty activities throughout his career. We are very, very privileged indeed to have Dr. Arthur M. Rocker with us today, and we would now request him for his address. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have a small request that since we have a number of speakers and we would like to hear all of them, whatever they wish to convey, and so time has been restricted to 7 minutes per speaker, and we would be very grateful indeed if you keep to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the chairman, Dr. Kanora. It is a great honor to be here, particularly during the age of confluency. You know, I want to talk to you today concerning what confluency really means. You know, confluency is somewhat a full circle. It indicates man moving from the Iron Age over to the Golden Age. And I want to talk to you just a second or two, if I don't lose my notes, just a second or two on what man really needs. Man need body substance. Man need truth. Man need education. Man need beauty. Man need rights. Man needs spirituality for his confluency. All must be in that order to form one circle. Consider these in the order that I named. Number 1, body substance. To maintain, man needs to maintain his body. He needs air, water, food, shelter, clothing, all mentioned without the contamination of various man-made toxicities. Earthy chemicals, massive pollution that cause tremendous harm in man's body, as recently has occurred in various areas globally, even in America, where toxicity affected the entire Gulf of Mexico with millions and millions of barrels of oil that contaminated a industry that was a $1 trillion industry and now down to $214 billion. Man needs truth. Man does not need lies. Man needs truth. You got to understand, I'm still a Reverend Dr. Art Rocker, Baptist preacher, and the whole body of knowledge support this thesis. Man, digital technology. Man needs technology. He needs his computer. Man needs to calculate the business deals. He needs to add his profits and his returns. But he needs to subtract. Man subtracts the underserved out, and he add in the privilege in dividing the old people against the young. Man multiply billions and refusing to give to the poor, the underserved, the disenfranchised, being logistical for only his needs and not understanding logistically the formula must include women and the young. He needs both to have. Man, theological mannerism and belief when deterred by man's opinion, not realizing the strength of the woman and his philosophical and theological rhetoric by excluding the opinion of a woman, leadership is like a cartoon. Without a woman, why exclude the woman? Therefore, why exclude the concern of women and the young in man's growth in the age of confluency? Man needs education. Education is vital. Man needs education to achieve his goals, become truth. If one and the same time spirituality achieves its goal and the same man is good, he too is indigenous and not only being indigenous and mutual supporter of man and themselves. As early as we mentioned the essence of truth, essence of truth is the attributes of God that is called your spirituality. The same spirituality that we utilize when we look at our water, that man must produce the same in the water. The spirit of goodness must be affected in the water. We must have clean air and spirituality. We must drink water that the masses must drink, whether we are the president, the CEO, the beggar, the driver, the maid, the homeless, the poor, the inflicted, the nappy-head, the straight hair, the carpenter, the yellow skin, white skin. We all must bound by eternal, everlasting, ever-enduring ties that has spiritualistic of those who are making our decision. It is so significant for them to be a part of it. Man needs beauty. Man needs a beautiful woman. A woman like Queen Mother Blakely of Harlem that worked so diligently all her life. Man needs to wake up early in the morning to see beauty. He would gaze at the sunrise. He would meet the beauty of nature. Then meet the beauty of poetry. If man has spirituality, he would hear the sound of the wind. Man see clean and pure rivers that he must love and keep clean for his children. Children see the hills and the mountains. Man must have the sight of children. Man must have rights, civil rights, human rights, in presence of understanding who is man, an individual that have rights, all rights, human rights, civil rights for all. All men must realize that men are leaders of the world. Man must recognize his cry for help through spirituality. And in closing, man must build a spirituality the same way as an organization has built. If we notice, if you take the bumblebee, and a lot of you are familiar with the bumblebee takes a hornet's nest, and he builds the hornet's nest, and they continue to build the hornet's nest. And as he can build the hornet's nest, no one can come and touch the hornet's nest. You know why you cannot touch the hornet's nest? Because the queen bee is in the hornet's nest. That's how man must protect his woman. He must be willing to fight for the woman. The bumblebee continue to protect the hornets because his children are being multiplied. We must procreate and begin to keep our kids and teach our kids education, beauty, intellect. That's the spirit of man. And in closing, in order to have spirituality, you gotta have prayer. Prayer is the intercessor. It's the intercessory of prayer, of spirituality. You can't have spirituality until you have prayer. It says ask. It says seek. It says knock. You gotta knock. You gotta knock for prayer. You gotta knock for equality. You gotta knock for humanity. You gotta knock for everything that takes place. The same way that when I was working against the BP claim, I organized poor people, thousands of poor people. They said that they couldn't get paid. I went to jail 3 times. BP beat me. They slaughtered me. They kicked me out in my ground, but I kept on praying because I had the Spirit of God. When you keep on praying, you keep on working. And 3 weeks ago, BP is now, the Supreme Court has ruled. For 4 years we waited for BP to pay. BP must pay my claims, our claims for the poor, over $200 to $500 million. Prayer would be answered. May God bless you and keep you.